let's get back to it, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna play some Lego Marvel Superheroes 2, but before we get into that, we are going to do something for the first time on my channel because I usually despise this kind of content. But today we're gonna be doing a react video. Why are we doing a react video? Because I just found out that Markiplier dropped the trailers for fucking Iron Lung, which I thought I was on top of all that news kind of stuff. Turns out I'm not as updated as I thought. So we are going to go ahead and switch over to main cam, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're just going to go ahead and hop on YouTube. Here it is. Here's the Iron Lung final trailer. I saw this, my recommendation. I'm like, what? I saw this really from Markiplier. So this is going to be, I guess, the official trailer before it's released into theaters. Hopefully it might not be for all theaters, so hopefully it is, and we're about to find out. Let's go ahead and hop right in, ladies and gentlemen.
I see that question in your eyes. For what purpose
This looks so
we
badass.
remain alone in the dark?
Oh, where'd it go?
Cruising
There we
depth
go.
in roughly 2 minutes. Stand by.
I ask myself that very same question.
Is Markiplier the main actor? I actually didn't know this. Maybe it's not him. Maybe I'm tripping.
Flames or anything like that.
Why would there be flames? You did test this.
Oh my god, dude.
Here's the test. Closing porthole shielding.
Where's the reason for this quiet rap?
That is so fucking cool.
Too few to rebuild, too many to feed.
You're the first one down. All we have are surface scans. That's why you're there.
I wonder how they're gonna implement
One of the reasons.
a whole movie based off of this. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this because I hate reaction channels that just sit there and be all like, ooh, ah, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna talk about it. So, for those of you who don't know, and I might be wrong on a lot of this stuff because, you know, I'm not up to date on a lot of stuff. I'm not extremely online. Iron Lung is an indie horror game that I personally played only because I heard that Markiplier was going to make a movie, and when I heard about that, it's obviously because it was such a great game, blah blah blah. So I played it myself. It's on my YouTube channel if you guys would go like to check it out. I had a great time. It was one of the first stream VODs that I uploaded to my YouTube. Very great game. It was confusing at first, but you eventually get the hang of it. Super scary. It had that classic Five Nights at Freddy's feel. You know what I mean? Where it's like there's not the main horror aspect of it was the imagination. First off, your mind playing tricks on you, and secondly, sounds, noises, where your ears hear, man. That's where the real horror was. Just hearing the shit around you was like, anyways, great game. So playing that got me even more hyped up for the movie. I'm super excited for Markiplier and all that kind of stuff, but this looks like a great movie because it's based off an amazing game. And again, we've barely even seen half the trailer. Man, what was the other part? I from what I know, Markiplier played the game himself and loved it so much that he reached out to the creator and they got this project working. As far as I know, maybe the details are a little bit fuzzy. Maybe I just completely made that up. I don't know. I don't know my sources. That's just what I heard. And this was years ago, possibly. It was such a long time ago, at least 1 or 2 years ago. So yeah, that's just really awesome, man. Just you indie horror developer, YouTuber, and now we have a fucking movie coming up. And I see in the description it says the final trailer, only in theaters January 30th. So it's coming soon. It's coming in about just under 2 months. That's super exciting. And it doesn't say in like limited, oh my god, reserve your ticket. I'm for sure doing that. I might not be able to do that on stream, but I'm for sure going to be doing that later on. Yeah, man, I'm very intrigued on how they're gonna make this an entire movie, right? Because the game itself is an hour long, but half of it was kind of figure out the mechanics and kind of calculating how the mechanics work, if that makes sense. The whole thing is you're in a submarine and you need to take pictures of some stuff. I honestly don't even know. I think it was just called the Entity. So I wonder if Markiplier got with the creator and the creator of the game had all this lore written out, or if he got with Markiplier and he said, okay, let's expand on what I created. That's immediately all I'm thinking about, because in the game, the main character is kind of the only character. So we see in this trailer, it looks like there was some sort of lady that the main character was talking to. So now there's already 2 characters just in the trailer. So Obviously, it's based off of the game, but it does look like they're going to expand off of that, and that's super, super exciting to see. Okay, let's continue. I feel like I yapped for a very, very long time. I'm super excited for about passion projects, man. I feel like, I'm sorry to pause again. I feel like we live in a world where everything is just super dull and everything is about making money, which I understand everything's a business and everything needs to make money, because if there's no money, if it's not profitable, how are they supposed to continue the franchise? I understand that. But everything nowadays just feels so, like, what's the word outside of dull? Everything just feels lackluster, man. So seeing stuff like this, it's super, super exciting. Anyway, let's get right back to I'm just like super excited about this, man. This is that stuff that like gets you. Oh my god, the ticking. PTSD.
There aren't enough of us left to be throwing lives away, but there is too much at stake not to take
Oh my goodness.
calculated risks. Eden doesn't understand that. You don't understand that.
So excited for this, dude.
Is that so wrong?
In theaters January 30th. Damn, that's so exciting, dude. Okay, that also reminds me of those scenes of all the blood. I also heard that Markiplier's objective was to break the record for most fake blood used in a movie, or it was something like that. Super excited to see that. I might be wrong on this, but wasn't like the ocean that the submarine was swimming through, wasn't that made of blood or something like that? I kind of remembered like the main menu. Dude, it's kind of fuzzy because when I played this game, I worked graveyard, and you know how like how that works for the human body. I remember the main menu, like it was just a long shot of the ocean and it was all red. So I just assumed it was like a sea of blood or something like that. Might be completely wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited for this. I can't wait for this movie to come out. I'm actually going to go ahead and go in full cam very, very quickly. I'm going to go ahead and click on this reserve your ticket now, because I don't know if this is like you have to buy the ticket right now. New theater locations are added regularly. Please check back for availability in your area. Gotcha. So it is going to be a limited event, it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and click buy tickets and see if my favorites... Ooh, ouchie. My beard just poked my boo-boo. That hurt. The boo-boo. Wait, say that again. Super excited to hear about that, man. Can't wait for more updates on that. And it's coming super, super soon. So I'm glad that the wait is... the wait's not gonna be too bad for much longer. Very excited for Markiplier. Very excited for everyone behind this project. I'm super excited and happy for everyone, and I can't wait to get my eyes on it, man. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as I switch over to main cam, I'm starting up the game. Here's what I have to tell you guys. You guys thought I was playing around.